Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Mellow Morning Flow with your host, Michael Dinney. We'll start with 2 yoga blocks for supported fish. So you can place one between your shoulder blades, and you might place a second one on the back of your head, or you might choose to rest your head on the floor. Both ways are great. You can bend your knees and come onto your forearms. Then adjust the block so it's supporting the upper back, below the neck. And then the head is supported on something, whether it's another yoga block or the floor. The variation that I'm showing is really great because it encourages more thoracic spine extension and opening across the chest. So once you're all set up there, your knees could be bent or straight. Feel free to let your knees rest out to the sides with the feet together. And then bring your arms out to the sides, opening the chest. Relax the jaw. Relax the face. Now on an inhale, reach the arms towards the back of the mat, overhead range of motion. And as you exhale, bend the elbows to a W shape, squeezing the shoulder blades more. And inhale to reach the arms up, spreading the shoulder blades apart, totally straighten the arms. Long exhale, bending the elbows, drawing them in. Continue to explore at your own pace. And use your ocean sound breath, ujjayi breathing, just like a soft whisper in the throat, to help slow down the movement of the breath. And see how much you can relax the belly. And then create just a slight suction inwards below the belly button, encouraging the breath to flow up the spine into the rib cage, into the chest. On a long inhale, reach back. And at the inhale, try holding the breath for a little while. And then hang out in this position. Continue to breathe according to your own needs. There's no right or wrong at all. And on a long exhale, bend your elbows, come back to that W shape. So we're going to do some vinyasas with the arms while keeping the elbows pretty close to the floor. If they don't touch, that's okay. Main thing is trying to open your chest, rolling the shoulder heads towards the floor, retracting the scapula. So with an inhale, turn your shoulders inwards, bringing the palms of the hands towards the floor. And on the exhale, turn the shoulders outwards. So we're pivoting over the elbow. Inhaling, turn the shoulders in. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades. And exhaling, turn the shoulders out so the palms face the sky. Inhale, palms towards the floor, which is inward rotation of your shoulder. And then exhale, palms face the sky, outward rotation. Explore a few more on your own. Take your time with the movement. Keeping the collarbones broad, chest open, even on the inward rotation, is a really great movement skill to develop. With practice, you'll be able to do this in your back bends. So like every upward dog, every cobra, we're working with this same pattern to keep the wrist happy and ground the index finger knuckle, even as the chest opens. And then very often, we get so focused on squeezing the shoulder blades that we can't root the index finger. And as a result, the wrist gets collapsed on one side. So really focus on that, rooting through the index finger. And then we'll come off the yoga blocks. You can take one hand to the back of the head. Exhale to engage your abs coming off. And then we'll slide the blocks off to the side for now. And lay down, hugging your knees into your chest for Apanasana, wind-relieving posture. It also refers to the downward flow of energy related to exhaling and related to rounding the spine, spinal flexion. The Apana pattern. And then take hold of your right foot, half happy baby, so you can open up the right knee joint about 90 degrees, hold the foot with both hands, and as you exhale, pull back gently, drawing the right knee towards the floor outside of the rib cage. Then feel free to attempt to straighten the left leg as a counterbalance, just to keep it interesting. Option to rest the head down. Option 2, exhale, tucking the chin. Lift the head and shoulders off the floor for a few more breaths. And feel free to gently rock side to side, exploring the pose. And then resting the head, bring your right ankle outside of your left thigh. Recline spinal twist. Lift your hips and bring them over to the right edge of the mat. And with an exhale, lower your legs towards the left side. And you can take your left hand to your thigh, gently pulling down. At the same time, try leaning into your right shoulder more as a counterbalance, opening up the chest. Maybe you feel a really nice stretch into the belly or low back region as well. Try to breathe into the belly. Three more breaths. Inhale back to center. And exhale, center your hips on the mat and draw the left knee into the shoulder. Half happy baby. Open up the knee joint about 90 degrees, holding the foot. Explore gently rocking the legs side to side. Aim the knee towards the floor outside of the left shoulder. And feel free to pause there or use an exhale to connect with the Apana pattern. Rounding the back, engaging the abs. Lift the head and shoulders. 3 more breaths. Feel free to straighten the right leg from there, or just attempt to straighten it a little bit. Inhale, relax the head down. Exhale, take the left ankle outside of your right thigh. Set up for the twist, bringing your hips over to the left, and then long exhale, lowering the legs over towards the right. Try looking over your left shoulder to help get that left shoulder down. And then you can use your other hand to gently pull down on the leg. And take some deep, slow breath into the belly. If you're finding that little bit of stretch in the hip or in the abdomen, notice how your breath can affect the stretch. So on the inhale, it might feel like the intensity increases a little bit. On the exhale, notice it dissolve. And that's where you can pull down with the right arm a little bit. One more breath. And then inhale back to center and center the hips. Take your yoga strap around the right foot and then straighten that right leg up to the sky. So as you straighten the leg, flex toes to shin. We'll take a few breaths just hanging out here in the center. If you get the strap around the ball of the foot, you can really put the stretch in the back of the calf. And try to keep that leg straight, engaging the quadriceps. Now make some circles. Exhale, pull back to the right. And then inhale, come across the center halfway. Exhale to the right. So big circular movements. Pulling back a little bit to go out to the right. And then give it some slack to come across the center. Literally drawing a circle with the leg. And then pull back to the right side. You can press your bent knee out to the left as a counterbalance. If you're really flexible, try straightening the left leg onto the mat, rooting the heel, and we'll take a few breaths here. There's also the option to hold the strap with both hands, reaching the hands towards the back of the mat, behind the head. So this challenges the shoulders a bit in the overhead range, creating gentle tensions between pushing through the foot and gently pulling on the strap. Key word is gentle. Have I said gentle enough times yet today? Gentle. There we go again. Good. One more long breath there. And then bring that leg across center. Hold the strap with the left hand. Move your hips towards the right, or your pelvis towards the right. And a long exhale, bring the leg over to the left for a spinal twist. Gazing over that right shoulder. As you push the ball of the foot out into the strap, at the same time, try pulling back a bit with the arm. And you might find a really nice stretch along the outside of that right thigh. One more breath. And then bending the knee, come back to center. And we'll take the other leg up. So left leg up to the sky. Starting in the center, flex left toes to shin. Get that left leg straight to help lengthen the calf. Helps to keep your right leg bent with the foot on the floor. Take a few more breaths here. And then making circles, exhale to pull back to the left. Inhale, come across the center, giving it slack. Exhale to the left, and then inhale across the center. And then continue exploring. The circles could be small or big. Depends a lot on how long your strap is. And then we'll bring that leg out to the left. Option to hold the strap with both hands. Again, your right leg could be pressing out to the right as a counterbalance, or you can straighten it, keeping it close to the midline. And breathe. If you're holding the strap with both hands, try lengthening up the right side of the spine by doing lateral flexion, shortening the left side of the spine. A few more deep breaths there. And so far, this whole class could be done in bed, but we'll start to use our feet a little more in a moment. One more breath. And then come back to center. Take the strap in the right hand, bend the right leg, keeping the left leg fairly straight, and we'll move the pelvis to the left side of the mat. And with an exhale, bring the legs over to the right side. Great place to stay. You can pull back a bit on the strap while pushing the foot out into the strap, encouraging a little bit of external rotation in the left hip. Even though you won't get much movement, this could bring the stretch more into the outside of that left hip. Very complementary to pigeon position, revolved triangle, any movement that has a twisting component to it. Two more long, slow breaths. Find the gentle tension between pushing out through the foot and gently pulling back on the strap. And then letting go of the stretch, come back to the center, set the strap aside, and then hug your knees in towards your chest, Apanasana. Crossing the ankles, roll forward and back along the length of the spine, engaging the core as you rock up. Spreading the shoulder blades, really working with the Apana pattern. And then come all the way up and move into table position with the hands near the front of the mat, knees below the hips. And with an inhale, draw the heart forwards to a back bend. As you exhale, drop the tail, going vertebra by vertebra. Slowly drop the chin in. Inhale, move the heart forward. Moving into a back bend, the head is the last thing to come up. Then exhale, move from the pelvis, drop the tail, round the low back, upper back, and then drop the chin. On the inhale, keep the chin tucked. Move the heart forward as much as you can. End point, try lifting the chin. And then exhale, drop the tail, slowly rounding the spine. A few more movements here. And feel free to get creative if you'd rather wag the tail. Any little movements that you feel like your spine would benefit from at this moment. 2 more breaths. And then coming back to the center, take a breath in, look forwards, walk the hands even further forward. And as you exhale, drop the tail, walk the hands even more forward, and bow the head towards the floor, hanging out in puppy stretch. So as you root down through the tips of the fingers, lift the palms away from the floor. Try to keep your arms straight. 3 more deep breaths. Explore letting the shoulder blades lift to the ears. And then next inhale, come up. Hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes. Exhale, press back to downward facing frog. With the knees bent, move the hips from side to side. Turning the feet to the right, the hips go to the left, and vice versa. Really bending into those knees. Send the buttocks back towards one heel, and then the other. There's a lot going on in this variation. Benefits of squatting, stretching, and awakening the feet, as well as lateral flexion through the spine, stretching one side all the way up to the armpit as the other side contracts. And then come back to the center, bend your knees again, bring your hands towards your feet, and come into Ragdoll, holding on to opposite elbows. Let your torso sway from side to side. Let things hang loose. And then bending your knees, let go of the elbows, tuck the chin. On a long inhale, slowly roll up through the vertebra, coming all the way up. And then we'll meet in mountain pose. So bring your feet close together. And then with an inhale, lift the arms over the head. Look towards thumbs. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, pull through the arms. And breathe. If you find it difficult to get the squeeze, very helpful to take a strap between the hands. Keeping the hands apart, squeeze the shoulder blades, and you'll probably be able to move into much more of a range of motion if you use the prop there. And I've had students who are completely stuck in this move, and after using the props for a few months, they're able to fully do it without props at all. So they're really great tools. Now on your next exhale, set the strap aside. Take your hands forward, downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk the dog, straightening one leg, bending the other. You can also wag the tail side to side, moving the hips side to side, but with the legs a little bit straighter if that feels good. And then go into full down dog, pushing the palms forward, send the hips back, and we'll hang out for a few breaths. Now on your next inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. And a few more to go. I forgot to tuck in my shirt today, so it looks like I'm wearing a tank top, but I assure you, this is a full-on muscle shirt. Looks like a sports bra, but that's okay. So we'll come into plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, bring the hips down, and we'll meet in Sphinx Pose. So you can bring your elbows forward just beyond your shoulders. Take your feet apart, and as you inhale, pull back, lifting the heart. Option is stay there. Phase 2, take the elbows out to the sides a little bit wider. Hands on the floor, lift your shoulders. Keep a little bit of bend of the elbows and pull your hands towards your hips, really awakening the upper back. Get 2 more breaths. The idea is to feel some work happening in the back of the arms. This is really good for strengthening the lats. Now on your next exhale, come down. You can bring your hands closer to your ribs. And just like we did on fish pose, think of rotating the shoulders inward while retracting the scapula. So squeeze between shoulder blades, but then root down through index finger knuckle. Inhale, rise up, lift the feet, pull with the hands. Exhale, down slow. 3 more to go. Inhale, pull back, root that index finger knuckle. That's your inward rotation connection. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. You can repeat cobra or go into full up dog. Inhale, your choice. Exhale from the core, downward facing dog. Now with an inhale, lift the right leg up, bend the knee and make circles in that right hip joint. On your next exhale, step right foot forward and then back foot flat. Inhale, warrior 1, lifting the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows and hinge over your front leg. Again, inhale, come up, arms straight. Exhale, bend the arms and hinge. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the elbows, last one. Inhale, come all the way up. With an exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Try to straighten the front leg and step a little closer. Inhale, open the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, fold over the right leg and breathe. Great place to use a strap. And next exhale, bend your knee. Take the hands to the floor. Inhale, step to plank pose. Exhale, lower down slow, knees and hips. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale from the core, downward dog. On your next inhale, lift the left leg and circle the hip a few times. Big movements. Engaging with the buttocks, the glutes. And on your next exhale, step left foot forward, back foot flat. Inhale, lift the arms up, warrior 1. Exhale, bend the elbows, hinge forward over your leg. Inhale, come up. And exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades as you lean over. 2 more to go. Really resisting gravity with the upper arm bones, engaging the upper back. Last one. Inhale to come up. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Right foot steps a little closer. And with an inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold over that front leg. Knee bent or straight, your choice. Try spreading the left toes and creating a lot of muscle tone around the front of the thigh. And next exhale, bend your knees, take the hands down. Inhale to plank. Exhale to low plank, knees and hips. Index finger knuckle roots on the inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale from the core, downward dog. With an inhale, lift your right leg, open the hip. Exhale, step your right foot forward, back foot turns out this time. Warrior 2. Inhale, open the arms. Feel free to take a longer stance. Exhale, the side angle, right forearm to thigh, left arm forward. Option 2 is taking your right fingers to the floor on either side of the foot, creating a long line from the back leg through the reaching arm. On an inhale, come up, warrior 2. Exhale, lunge on left toes, and then take that left hand to the floor, Right arm up. You can stay in the lunge or go on the outer edges of both feet. Stacking the shoulders just like a side plank. Just a slightly modified side plank since the right foot takes a little bit of weight. And on the exhale, take the right hand to the floor, lower your left knee down, and we'll walk that right foot over for pigeon position. So you can bring the shin to the floor, outside of the thigh to the floor, bending both knees 90 degrees. If you're a bit looser, try to straighten the left leg and spin it in. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale, fold over your leg, find a sweet spot. Pressing the ball of the foot and hand into each other can help to access deeper layers of this posture, a little more stability behind the knee. And so I said we'd stay here for 5 breaths. In the future, I'll incorporate a voting option, so you can vote to stay for 20 breaths. Well, let's get through a few more postures before we finish class. We're almost done. Very short and sweet today. All right, inhale to come up. Exhale to down dog. You can walk your dog or move through a vinyasa, inhaling to plank, and exhale to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up, open the hip. Exhale, left foot forward, right foot turns out to the side. Inhale, warrior 2, take a longer stance. Exhale, side angle, left forearm to thigh or left fingers to the floor. And then reach long through that top arm, firm through the back heel, lengthening up the right side body. 3 more breaths. This is another lateral flexion movement, so you can really stretch the right side. Firm through the right heel, right buttock. And then back to warrior 2 on an inhale. Exhale, lunge on right toes, and then take the right hand to the floor under the shoulder, left arm up. Option 2, go onto the outside edges of both feet. And breathe. And exhale, lower your hand, bring your right knee down, make your way into pigeon, walking that left foot over to the right side of the mat. You can then lower onto your shin, and then go onto the outside of that left thigh. Both knees bent 90 degrees. Exhale to fold over your leg, pressing the foot and hand into each other. If you're a bit looser, try to straighten the right leg, pushing down through the base of the toes as that leg spirals in. About 5 slow breaths, creating a very gentle resistance between the hand and the foot pushing into each other. I like to work with pressing through the ball of the foot because it imitates awakening the arch of the foot. Same thing we can do when we're walking or running. That also creates more engagement around the calf and other muscles that support the knee joint. And with your inhale, come on up. We'll bring the right leg out in front as well. And then take the hands to the floor. If you have your yoga blocks, you're welcome to go into Anahatasana, heart opening posture. So you build the A-frame of a house with your blocks, like a big triangle. That prevents them from slipping apart so much. And then you take the upper arm bone, the humerus, to the yoga block. So try to bring the elbow really close to the far side of the block. Slide the knees back a little further, and then let the head come down. If you'd like to do a headstand at this point, feel free. Otherwise, join us in this really relaxing posture. Great for opening up the shoulders, mobilizing the upper back. About 10 more breaths. Explore gently contracting the abdomen, supporting the low back with core strength. If you already did it that way, then try the opposite. Try relaxing the abdomen, inviting more of a back bend through the low back. I like to remember this quote from a teacher named Desikachar, who was the son of the godfather of flow, Krishnamacharya, that our practice should always be a little bit smarter than our habits. And then to come out, slowly lift your head. Set the blocks aside, and we'll do one last posture. Paschimottanasana, with the more relaxed emphasis for our purposes. So you can rest your forearms on the floor outside of your legs, and then allow your spine to passively round forward, surrendering to gravity. If you find you're stuck up here, bend your knees, and then place your forearms underneath your legs so your hands can hold somewhere around the back of the legs, wherever you can reach. And this way your arms are supporting a little bend of the knees, making it easier to fold forward. Try to relax your belly. Relax the core. And go deep into the breath. Relax the jaw. And then slowly come up to sitting. And on that note, we'll close practice. So you're welcome to continue on into Shavasana or do any other postures that your body is calling for. This concludes our 30-minute Mellow practice. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Hope this serves you well, and see you on the mat soon. Peace.